Hi, it's Scott Allen, and in part 4 of my Lions series I'm going to look at who will be the centres for the Lions and why I think so. At number 12 will be Jamie Roberts from Wales. Roberts is a big guy, and it'll come as no surprise to you that I expect we'll see plenty of this sort of crash ball running from 12, whether it's on first phase, from scrum or line-out, or in later phases. He's trying to get the ball over the game line so his team is set up to do something on the next phases. I'm sure the Lions will use him as part of their exit strategy to get out of their own 22 with this sort of run. Roberts was the starting 12 in the 2009 Lions team. Rob Howley was his backs coach on that tour and will be again this tour. Warren Gatland was the forwards coach and is head coach this time. Obviously they both coach him at Wales. So we're going to see a bit of a blend of how Wales and the Lions in 2009 have used Roberts. On the 2009 tour there was plenty of straight direct running, but there were some other elements added to his game which we'll see shortly. One thing's for certain though, particularly early in the test, Roberts will be coming down the 10-12 channel at James O'Connor and whoever's playing 12 for the Wallabies. The 13 in the 2009 team was Brian O'Driscoll, and I think it will be again. His combination with Roberts was great, and I'll show you some clips of that in a minute. I don't need to show you too much of what O'Driscoll does because we all know what a threat he is. But just a couple of clips to reinforce that. Here he drags in 3 Springboks and opens up the hole outside for Croft. Here for Ireland against Wales, again he takes the ball out the back, drags defenders to him and then gives a great ball to Simon Zebo to score. Now to the combination between the two. Once teams get used to Roberts coming down the 10-12 channel, he then becomes a very good decoy, where he sucks defenders into that channel, opening up space out wide, and O'Driscoll is very good at taking advantage of that. Their combination in 2009 was fantastic, and they use a lot of variety in the way they combine. So here it's Roberts taking the ball straight to the line, with O'Driscoll just outside him taking the short pass, setting up the try for Croft. In this instance, it's a face ball across Roberts out to O'Driscoll, with Roberts coming back on the inside to take a short ball. In this example, O'Driscoll starts at 12 and goes behind Roberts, who's the decoy coming from 13. In this example, O'Driscoll starts out wide and they switch, O'Driscoll coming inside with Roberts going outside as the decoy. On the next phase, Roberts is then in position to take the ball out wide over the gain line. Roberts and O'Driscoll played some great rugby on this 2009 tour, both individually and in combination. I think their combination actually brought out the best in each of them, and I'm sure the Lions coaches will continue with that combination for the first test. You can see here the Lions working the ball to the far sideline, which will then open up space to come back across the field with a wide back line. And again, with a bit of variety, it's O'Driscoll who goes into 12 this time and sets up Roberts running wider, rather than crashing that 12 channel as we're used to. As I said, we'll still see plenty of crash ball, but the subtleties of the Roberts and O'Driscoll combination will produce a lot more than that. Looking at opportunities for the Wallabies, then Roberts may well present one in defence. He's a good tackler when the player runs at him. Looking here, he's going to tackle Tuilagi, who runs straight at him. He's planted his feet, head down. He makes a strong tackle. The opportunity is when you can actually throw some decoy runners and force him to make a decision. Now in these examples I show you he's not entirely at fault. Both inside defenders and outside defenders make mistakes, but if you can put multiple runners around the ball and force him to make a decision, he can get caught out. Here the fault is Jones at 10, but because of the decoy runner he overcommits to that runner and Habana goes in behind him. What the Wallabies need to do is have plenty of bodies in motion with decoy runners, not run straight at him, which actually I think is part of the Wallabies' plan. When you're running at O'Driscoll, the worst thing you can do is run across field. He's very good at backing off and seizing the moment when he realises you've run out of room to come across and make the tackle. The Wallabies need to go more directly at him. Off the bench, I expect it'll be Jonathon Davies from Wales, because he's got the versatility of playing either centre or wing. In part 5 of this series tomorrow, I'm going to look at the back 3 for the Lions.